Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. So, as y'all have seen from the last video, I locked the Wyandottes up because their egg production dropped dramatically, which our season's changing, it's getting cooler and all that. But the Blue Orpingtons must be loving it because they've picked up the last couple of days. I've gotten much better eggs from them, so I'm letting them scratch a little bit. They don't have a rooster with them, and they haven't healed completely. It's only been 2 weeks. But they are doing better. They seem to be happy. The Wyandottes and the turkeys do want out. I'm probably gonna lock the Blue Orpingtons back up tonight and let the Wyandottes and the turkeys out. But tomorrow, the Rhode Island Reds over there and the Barnyard Mix are doing awesome still. I'm getting 8 eggs a day from 9 hens, so I can't complain with that. I don't know which one's not laying, but you know, I get 8 just about every day from them. Well, today I got 8 from those. I got 5 from the Blue Orpingtons and 5 from the Wyandottes. It's 18 eggs, y'all. That's the most I've ever gotten in one day. So I'm sure you can't count 18 on the camera, but there's 18 eggs there. And that pleases me really well. I was adding them up the other night. I know I've gotten it wrong on several videos, but I've got 7 Wyandottes and 6 Blue Orpingtons. So that is 13 plus 9 is 22 hens and 2 roosters. So 22 hens, got 18 eggs. I'm only 4 short from having 100% lay. That's pretty doggone good. And considering the Wyandottes typically for last few months we're laying 6 and 7 eggs a day, and the Rhode Island Reds are doing that. So, it's possible that I get 21, 22 eggs one day, but I doubt it. 18 in one day is very good. A dozen and a half, you know, I can't complain with that. Right now I'm getting way more eggs than I sell and way more than I eat. So I'm putting a lot up in the freezer. I've showed y'all before, mix 1 dozen or 2 dozen. I do 2 most of the time into a bowl and pour them into a quart Ziploc bag, freezer bag, and, mix them up in a bowl and then pour it into the bag. And then when I need eggs, I just thaw that bag out and I pour what I want out of that bag and zip it back up, put it back in the fridge. So it's one way you can save eggs for later down the road, which is what us preppers do. And, I still want more Rhode Island Reds just because they lay so phenomenally. When I was coming up, that's my aunt and uncle I lived with. That's what they had, was a lot of Rhode Island Reds. He had a few other breeds, but that was the predominant breed that we had back then, and they lay very, very well. So I'm pleased with that. I like that breed. They tolerate the heat in Southwest Georgia like we have very well, and they also tolerate the cold very well. So it's a good all around mix. Now it may not take the extreme cold temps that some of you have where you live, but for South Georgia, we typically only get 1 or 2 weeks of really cold weather, as in below 20 degrees. But either way, I do have a light that I put in my chicken pens that come on and gives them a light source and a heat source during the coldest part of the winter. It comes on automatically. I've talked about it before. It's a thermal coupling or thermally controlled receptacle, basically. So anything you plug in there, it's like your thermostat on your air conditioner. When it gets below 36, 35 degrees, it comes on. Whatever's plugged in will come on. So I have my lights plugged into that. And when it gets above 45, it turns back off. So that works well for me and my chickens. I'm probably going to end up moving their waterers closer to the light for, to help keep the water from freezing those few days a year that we get where it will. But other than that, it's pretty simple in the extreme south like this for raising chickens and such, and not having to worry about frozen water lines. But Either way, I am extremely pleased with 18 eggs in one day. And I did walk both yards. I did not find any eggs in the yard. I had one on the ground in the last pen there, in the Rhode Island red pen. I had one on the ground in the Wyandotte pen. But all the other 16 were in the laying boxes. So I'm pleased with that. The waters look good. I'm gonna take the brushes out here this evening and brush them out and kind of clean them up a little bit. But I'm happy with it. And the Wyandotte seem to be going back to their normal laying. If I can get 5, 6, hopefully 7 like I was out of them a day, and the Rhode Island Reds are still doing their 7 or 8 a day, you know, I'm pleased with that. Now the Blue Orpingtons, in my book, they're still not worth me having, because apparently they are a cooler season laying hen. They lay better when it's not so hot, but they have been, pretty decent layers for me. I've got a, pretty good stretch in the hottest part of our summer in South Georgia. We have 3 months of almost unbearable heat and humidity, and they don't lay worth a toot then. Now, you'd be lucky if you get any eggs, but in the cooler seasons, fall, spring, winter, they do lay much better. So they'll stay around for a little while anyway, till at least till I get time to take them to freezer camp. But I didn't show y'all, but Sweet Pea decided to join me on the bench here. I haven't been home long, so I'm going to probably get on the tractor or the lawnmower. I've got a hydraulic line on the bucket of the tractor that a tree limb hit when I was clearing the woods back there last week, that I need to take off and tighten the fitting up. And if I've got 3 extra hydraulic hoses that the guy gave me when I bought the tractor that are new. So if I need to change the hose to stop the leak, I will, but I think it's just the fitting got loose. So I'm planning on doing that today. And then, of course, right at dark when the chickens go to bed, roost, I'm going to have to get in there and lock the Blue Orpingtons up so I can let the Wyandottes and the turkeys out. And I don't have to, but their backs are way too raw, or were, for me to have a rooster in with them right now. And I'm not trying to hatch their eggs anyway, so I'm gonna do that today. I want to cut grass. The mower's ready. Everything's good, but we have not had any significant rain in quite a few weeks or months. So I'm not going to do that right now. All it'd be is a big dust cloud, and I'd be covered with it by the time I got finished. So it can wait a little bit longer. We're supposed to have some rain coming in the next few days, and hopefully we'll get that and the ground to get a little bit damp, so it won't be so dusty, and I can get all the grass cut and, work on some other things. I'm waiting on the rainy season to try to dig the holes for the posts for the goat pen, because this ground here is so hard you cannot dig it by hand, or the normal person can't dig them by hand when the ground is this dry. So after 3 or 4 weeks of the rainy season where you get enough rain to get the ground nice and saturated, I can get out there and dig a hole of China. But when this ground this dry, there's not a chance. We did it with my brother's tractor and twice when it was dry, and the auger won't even dig in this stuff because it's so hard. But once we've gotten a few rains that's gotten, soaked in the ground, it'll dig, and you can do it with a post hole digger, which is what I've got. So I've got a little 1-man auger or 2-man auger deal over there, but the carburetor is, needs to be replaced on it in the fuel tank, so I haven't even put any effort into that. A buddy of mine gave it to me several years ago. The motor's in good shape. Everything works except it needs a carburetor. He took it apart to have it cleaned and never put it back together and lost parts of it. So I need to order the fuel system and the carburetor and put on there, and it'd be ready to go. But either way, I got excited with 18 eggs, y'all. That's the first time I remember ever getting 18 eggs in one day. And I'm very pleased with that. I wanted to share it with y'all. So Y'all remember, I always appreciate y'all watching and commenting the videos. Man, it means so much to me. All of these smaller channels that are busting their tail to make content and put it out for people like you to watch. Um, I know there's a bunch of smaller channels that I follow, and like I say, some of them are the, homesteading content. Some of them are not, but I enjoy watching those that I follow. I try to watch especially when I have time, and I hope you guys do the same thing. That's the best way to support these small channels. Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank. It's a completely different type channel than mine, but those people are good people, and it's fun to watch her. She does a lot of shorts, or they do a lot of shorts. It's fun to watch with that. And CNC Farm, she does a good job. One Day at a Farm, Homestead, I think is what it's called. I usually join in on their lives on Tuesday nights, and I watch their videos, and that it's pretty much the same content I have. So as far as animals, anyway, but they're all good people, and there's a lot of other smaller channels that I subscribe to and I try to watch. Guys, if you're just watching the big mega channels, you know those guys don't need us. They don't care nothing about us. It's all about sponsorship and money for those guys. But there are some I follow. I really, really enjoy watching Arms Family Homestead. He's got 740,000 something subscribers. I really enjoy watching him and his wife and his kids, and it's that's one way that I relax. Keeping It Dutch with Sean and Brandy and their three girls. I enjoy watching their videos. And there's several other larger channels. Bush Radical, he's way up north. Man, he's one of my favorite channels. He doesn't do a lot of videos, but what he does are quality videos that really keep you entertained, and you can learn stuff from these guys. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button. It really helps us small channels tremendously. I thank you so very much. Y'all remember what I always tell you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.